And this was my starting area, which basically meant I had iron here, copper here, some coal over here, and a bit of stone up here. Basically mined all of that out and cleaned it at all, Then effectively moved my whole factory up here. So here's where what I call my main bus. Have 3 iron belts, 4 copper belts, steel, stone, stone brick, stone, green circuits, and then later on some other stuff. I had plastic and sulfur. But come down here. This is where my science goes in. So red science, green science, put out into the same belt. Here's where I'm making the belts, the inserters, and specifically just the green circuits for the inserters. They don't go anywhere else. And then you can come over and see the labs. Basically, there's a neat trick where you can daisy chain labs where you only have to input. Okay. You only have to input into a single lab, and each insert arm will pull. So this basically pulls all of the things from here to this back corner. The rest, I guess, if we look at the map, is, the belt, various factories. Shit. Of course. Okay, back to the factory tour. So basically, here's where I'm importing all of the things. These trains go to various outposts and pick stuff up. Copper, iron, stone bricks, stone, steel. I'm gonna export some sulfur here, and then this is my military train. Basically takes all these materials to various outposts so they can maintain themselves. This is my green circuit factory for my bus, so this just kind of makes any extra I need to make belts, splitters, inserter arms, drills, the whole 9 yards. Got this belt machine here. This will turn basically a lot of gears into yellow, then red, and then this one should be blue. But I haven't been making blue yet. I have lubricant here to put in the blue. And then this is what I call the mall. It's just basically you input a bunch of stuff and it kind of just makes all the various bits and pieces you don't necessarily need en masse, but that you don't want to be like making every time you need to build a factory. So it makes things, and I also use these bot chests, so the bots bring me stuff whenever I need it. And you can basically set this stuff here to always refill you. So this is my extra little walking path that makes me run faster. Military science. Fuck. Again. Oh, no, they're fine. Explosives. Here's my blue science setup, and let's throw in the blue science there, some red circuits, some green circuits, engines. Come up here, and we have batteries for my flying robot frames. And then over here, I'm just making robots. Then I have a little circuit network thing that basically says whenever I'm low on robots, it'll put more into the system. So the system's kind of self-maintaining. If I ever kick off a really big project and run out of robots, it'll start adding more from this chest. Artillery shells for when I get artillery. Ammunition for all of my turrets. And then this is my bus red circuits. So these are just kind of what I will be needing to use for modules and mostly modules, but it kind of replenishes this line here. That's basically taking the extra from the the blue circuits. Or sorry, blue science. And then here are the blue circuits. They're also extra from yellow science. And then yellow science is doing, I think this is low density units, blue circuits. What else does it need? Oh, flying robot frames that I'm bringing in from this factory over here. But basically this bus system, you kind of do 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, and it allows you to kind of take all the materials you need at any given time down one lane, and then you kind of build perpendicular to it. So it's a nice system to kind of keep things organized and not spaghetti. I kind of use my walkway as an auxiliary bus, like I'm just kind of shuffling some electric engines and some batteries down it. That doesn't necessarily have to go the whole length, but only as far as I need it to. And then over here, I think I need to build all the modules, speed modules, production modules, and kind of start building up the units for launching a rocket, because I have purple, yellow set up now. Yeah, purple's going over here, which takes the level 1 production modules, rails, and electric engine, or smelters. And here's some of my defense units, just a couple, and then these are automatically refilled by the robots as they get depleted, so I don't really have to maintain this. They'll also repair the walls if these things attack. If you look at my map, I'm kind of surrounded on this wall here, but my robots maintain all of this and keep me safe from this chunk, which I'll take on eventually. But if you look down here, this is my oil field. Some extra defense and radars. This is where I load up the oil. And then it just comes, this is just a single train loop that goes to the oil and back to my refinery. And then refinery, heavy, light, petroleum. Then here's where I'm cracking things. And there's a lot of circuit networks to make sure none of this backs up and overflows. Solid fuel, and then if I have too much of certain things, I can make more solid fuel from petroleum and heavy, but you basically only want to make solid fuel out of light oil. Then here's plastic. You need a lot of plastic, and you need quite a bit of sulfur too. Sulfur goes into making sulfuric acid, which gets munched up by the blue circuits here, as well as something else. I can't remember what. I don't know. But also a lot of sulfur goes into making explosives, which go into making artillery, shells, and cluster bombs, and all the good stuff that you need. If you look at my map, you can kind of see how big the factory is. When this was just kind of the starting area, like this was the scale of that, kind of right here. Down here is my power, just built on this lake here, which looks like these ones are not working. That's okay. And then I'm bringing in coal from up here and just powering all of this. Yeah, so this is my iron smelting setup right now. I literally just refactored this to be electric. It used to be coal powered. And then this is kind of an equivalent copper setup. And then on the flip side, I just have stone processing, which is kind of its own thing. I haven't really finished that, but it basically takes in the stone from up here and then turns it into stone bricks. Here's the massive steel processing unit that I set up. I don't have any radars over there, but it just takes this whole patch and turns it into steel, which is definitely way more steel than I'll ever need. But kind of the cool part about that one is I have this extra supply car that brings in ammunition supplies. So all of these turret units are basically completely maintained by this robot network up here. And it gets attacked pretty frequently by this stuff. If you look at my pollution cloud, it goes pretty far. But yeah, that's about it.